Hello everyone, welcome back to A Path Forward. Today I'm going to continue for financial management. In today's video, I'm going to explain how I do my personal financial management, and so that I won't really get into a financial harsh in a upcoming catastrophe or in certain cases, and also to ensure a stable finance condition. In this video, I'm gonna explain some basic concepts in how I define all the financial terms. This is just my personal terms, so it's easier for me to understand everything, and also how I view things, or how personally we should maintain our money, and also some tools that I know that's available out there and can be used for people who need them. Okay, so the basic concept here for in a financial management is basically only two things. One is your money flow, the other one is your reserve. So for money flow, that is basically for all your incomes, you consider them as a put them together, and then you also put together all the spendings you need to spend periodically and maybe in a year condition or such, whichever applies the best. For example, I'm living in America, and usually the personal tax are done in April every year, and also people need to pay for like auto insurance and maybe other stuff. So the best way to calculate it would be on a yearly basis, because certain money you need to spend at a one time in a year, and it's a big spending. Okay, so after you put those two numbers together, you need to use your income to subtract your money outflow, or what you are spending, to get a understanding of each year how much money you are either generating or you are burning. That way you can see what you are actually doing with your financial condition, and does make a adjustment based on that. And also from the reserve, you need to know basically like when you are besides your money income and money spending, there is also what you already have in your savings. Either that's like actual saving account, your stocks, your house, anything that can be used to become money at the end, to going through like certain process. Those can be called as a reserve, and the reserve is something that you can burn in the case or in the bad years where you have to constantly burn your money every single year. And okay, after we got these two basic concepts clear, next we go through the actual logic or behind. So personally, I think every single person should have three parts. The first part is where you will need to do your daily usage. That is like the money that you are receiving every single month, like your salary and etc. And also for all the money you are spending, because this account need to have the following specification, or like abilities. One, it allows multiple drawing or constant, like frequent drawings, to not generate any fees because of that. And also it need to have a certain level of security, because you have so much money or so much transactions going through every single day. It's likely that you may skip, or like you are being frauded and not notice that. So you need to have some level of like protection to help you maybe get the money back if there is a fraud happened, or if someone scanned your card, etc. And also for the next part is your emergency fund. For emergency fund, it's really isn't a fixed number, but it's the emergency fund is used for for example, the medical emergencies where the money needs to be readily available, maybe within certain days. With usually in America, I think within 3 to 7 days will be enough. And also the actual amount will be based on whether you have insurance, and also what kind of environment you are living in, because different procedures will require different price to be treated, and also some accident stuff, And after that, I think people will have, if they still have some extra money, they should put in a investment account. If you look at the history for all the currency, I'm pretty confident that all the currency will be devalued through inflation process. There's a purpose for that. I'm not going to too deep in that, but that will be true for no matter where you are or who you are. Your money will be inflated through over the year. And one thing that can combat that inflation is gold. If you look at the history chart, if you look at the chart through the history, gold has remained its relevant value over the history. Basically, like how much it worth back then, it's similarly worth right now as well. And maybe it's inflated a little bit because of the finer process of mining them, but again, it remains a relatively stable value. But if you look at all the other stuff, like maybe stocks or basically like stocks, most of the time, in most countries, the stocks has actually won the return for like compared to the like inflation by like several times. Especially if you look at like all human combined together. Yes, usually stocks can be valued like way more if you invest back then. And the reason being is when you are buying a stocks in a mature market, you will be able to you are basically buying a piece of a company. And if the stock market usually in a mature market will filter out all the bad companies and keep the good companies in. So eventually you are basically always riding with something that's constantly doing good. And eventually over the using the investment, you are able to get into a better financial condition, and the money will not be deflated or inflated due to the intentional inflation all governments use. And so basically through these three parts, I think every person can get into a better condition, like again, because you have a emergency fund to help you to prepare any catastrophes. Also, you have investment that can ensure your future is somehow like brighter. And your daily usage account will make sure you are not doomed or like in a debt that will cause issue in your like daily life. And the next is something that I think will be helpful to have, and I suggest people who are able to get them to collect them. One thing is credit card. Credit card, you can think of it as a tool that one provide a security level, because again you are borrowing money, and usually most of the time the bank who issued the card is responsible for all the security of this card. So if you see a wrong charge, you can call the bank. Most of the time they will just help you to get rid of the bad or the fraud charge in there. And also credit card is a create a tracking history of how you will pay off your debt, and over the long term it can create a certain level of confidence for all the other lenders when you are trying to borrow money for, like, let's say mortgage, or maybe in a certain condition you need to borrow a certain money for a catastrophe or accident emergency. And the next tool is called high yield savings. High yield savings is basically like there is a certain limit, like you can't withdraw money for more than certain times in a year or in a month, but they will offer you a higher yield saving interest rate. And that way, I think it's a good place to put your emergency fund in there. One, it's generating some sort of money. Two, it's always it's still like readily available if you actually have a accident. And the next one will be insurance. If you have read my previous videos, you will know that insurance is basically providing you a protection, where in the worst case scenario, you are limited to your losses. For example, I have a health insurance, and that health insurance ensures that in the worst case condition, I will not spend more than, let's say, $10,000 in a year. So that way I'm protected in a case if I need to do a serious surgeries or get into really bad sickness. And if you lived in America, I think most of people will agree that the health system is actually very expensive. So a good health insurance would help you to make sure you don't really get into a really bad condition in a accident. And again, we all live for like quite a long time. Some people may say, oh, I will only live to like maybe 50 or something, but still that's like, even if you are like 30 right now, that's still 20 years. And if you look at the expected life time or life expectancy in America, I think right now the average age is around like 80 or something. So nobody can guarantee you that nothing happens in your life. So I would suggest everyone to get some sort of insurance. That way they are protected. And also there is some sort of like life insurance. They can you may need to like put in a lot of money at the beginning, but they will generate some sort of like money inside that insurance, and at a certain age it will start to back pay you for all the money generated. And that is also a way of investment. And the next tool I would say is ETFs. ETFs is basically a certain like banks or like investment manager. They will create a certain portfolios for people, and the portfolios include like all the like public owned or private owned stocks, and maybe like other like bond, cash, a mixture that will like theoretically should grow over the long term. And the reason I don't really straight recommend investing in stocks is because investing in stocks actually requires a lot of research, a lot of times. For normal people, most of the people will have a like daily job, so it'll be hard to get a lot of time to learn everything and read all their like financial report, get familiar with all the like companies, etc. So the best tool for normal people would be buying ETFs, and not all the ETFs are like good at either. One of the reason because all ETFs are created by people, and you can't really tell whether like these like financial managers, they are actually good with the investment. So I think one good way is to whether follow some like people who are already famous and has a really long tracking record that you can rely on, or just buy some like for example in America the S&P 500, and the logic behind is that the S&P 500 will basically like find the 500 best companies in America and filter out all the bad ones. And over the year, you will constantly refresh the list for all of those who are not performing well will be filtered out, and for those who are behaving or performing well will be added in. So basically, you are always buying the best 500 companies at the moment, and so there will be someone doing the filtering and updating it for you. So I think that's a very good logic. And if you look at the all the statistics, I think there are like thousands of companies being listed in the stock market every year, and there are also thousands of companies who are delisted due to not behaving, bankruptcy and stuff, or each year as well. So with that being said, it will be hard for a individual to find a company that will actually do well and not bankrupt over the next couple of years or at a certain point. But by buying like a good ETF such as S&P 500, you are guaranteed you are at least safe for like the top 500 companies. If these are actually doing bad, then that means a serious crash is happening in the whole economy. And the last tool I'll say will be like collectibles. By collectibles, it's hard to define, but usually you can say like maybe gold or like fine art. By fine art, I'm talking about like things that has a good or like a famous author or famous artist, those things that has both history value and also the name value. The name value actually by straight logic it doesn't really matters, but the name value create a value that where people can show off, and by show off that is a value. And so if something that can match these two, and also the fine materials, like those can be used as a raw material, and no matter how the world develop, there is only so much material in this world. So a fine material, especially rare materials like gold and maybe silver and etc., they will they will serve as a good reserves to keep your self from like being inflated or deflated over the time. And there will be more like financial tools that's out there, but I think most of people will not really need them, because I know like for certain banks, if you have like more than like $1 million or so, they have like some special like product for you as well. But again, I think most normal people will only need these 5 tools to help them to get into a good condition. Okay, I think that's all for today, and thank you for watching. Please don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button. Until then, see you next time.